Good evening, and welcome to the Roxy Files. Hello, Governor. She's always got that mic on mute. I'm a strangler. Shannon. Good evening, guys. Welcome. Why is the studio not showing up right? It's dragging behind tonight.
Can you hear me now? See, I push the button and it takes like several seconds for some weird reason to work.
It's lagging. Like, I can't even see the text or the comments. I don't know. Maybe they messed up my internet today earlier, guys. It went out for a while. Evidently, some kind of accident. Somebody took out a box somewhere. But good evening. Welcome to the Roxy Files. How are you tonight, Shannon?
I am doing all right. I am hanging in there. I'm moving. That's all that
Moving.
matters.
Up and moving. That's
Mhm.
the important part.
Mm.
Well, I can't get the comments to show up on the screen right, guys. So we're just going to not put them up there for the moment. I don't know. Something's lagging bad. But tonight, we are on Pluribus, Season 1, Episode 8. And you want to give the rundown on this episode, Shannon?
Episode 8, the final episode, right?
No. This is
Oh,
8 out of 9.
that's right.
This is where they go on all the trips
That's
together.
right. Okay, so we know that at the end of the last episode, the gentleman from Paraguay finally meets up with Carol, and she had already just asked Zosha to come back. So Zosha is there. And while they're trying to converse, her and what is his name? Why can't I remember his name, guys?
Minosa?
Minosa. Minosa's trying to explain. He's spent so much time trying to learn English, but he's still not quite there. So they're trying to converse using Translate on the phone. She's weary because she's really starting to get to know Zosha here. She's actually, but in her secret spy like way, trying to collect information about more about this particular individual and the whole plan of everything. So she lets her in.
She's just trying to get information. She's
Right.
doing research.
She lets her in. But a part of her is, you know, is connected to her. You can see the pain in her eyes that at the end of that episode. The next one. Anyways, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So basically, Minosa is like, I'm here to help save the world. And she's already like, well, I don't know you and what's your plan? And they don't have translation properly. And he starts like freaking out, going inside of her house looking for like a bug, wiretap, whatever. Long story short, he starts to, stay in her house a little bit. They converse a little bit more about stuff, but he's very uncomfortable with Zosha's presence. And then what is it? Is it the point where he's actually trying to mess with her, or he causes some kind of a
With
emotional
frequency.
breakdown with the frequency thing? So he starts to use the frequency thing on Zosha, and she gets, upset because a part of her is connected to her in emotional ways. And so she leaves with Zosha and just tells this guy to stay next door and just here, have free reign of this, do whatever. And I'm going to go off with Zosha. And so there's this one part, several episodes ago where, she asks for the grenade and then accidentally lets the grenade explode. Before she lets that grenade explode, she's like, so what? You just get to do all these amazing things, and lists off all these fantasies in her head that she's probably always wanted to do,
Her bucket list.
her bucket list. And that's what she ends up going to do with Zosha. And
Is
so the rest of it is pretty much just a sequence of them doing stuff and then little bits of the other guy and what he's doing. That's really pretty much the rest of the episode.
pretty
It's a lot of
much.
silence and beautiful scenery.
It is. I mean, they do some cool things. But as we were thinking about this episode yesterday, I texted Shannon last night and I'm like, bucket list. Let's talk about bucket list. Because, things have changed for a lot of us since we have become awakened and see the world for what it really is. So if you think about what your bucket list would have been 10 years ago versus what your bucket list would be today, I can guarantee you there's some serious differences in there.
Mhm.
What's on your bucket list then that is of no interest to you now, Shannon?
Well, actually, I have an example of a bucket list thing I did get to do back then that I could give nothing about now. But I, always wanted to drink bourbon on Bourbon Street in Nolans. Got to do that. Who had a good time. Embarrassed my kids. It was great.
Great.
It was great. No, it really wasn't that great. But now, now I have things on my bucket list like going to see family far away, going to see some of these giants, I mean, like mountains, oops, or
Tree stumps.
tree stumps,
The old
all
world.
kinds of, yeah, I'd like to do, but more than anything, I'd really love to see some of the places that, my Lord and Savior really walked on, and, you know, that kind of stuff. Just being in prayer and saving souls, saving the lost souls in the name of my Lord and Savior.
Yeah, see, when I think about things from 10 years ago that I wanted to do on my bucket list, none of, well, the majority of them are like not even registering. Like, there was places I used to want to vacation to, but it was places like Vegas or, places like that. That holds absolutely no interest for me anymore. Like, no, I want to go see the Grand Canyon. I'm going to see the Pacific Ocean. I want to see a redwood tree. I want to, like you said, I want to go places that Jesus walked. I want to see all those things because I want to see Earth,
Right.
the that we live on. Yeah, we all wish for better health, Biggie.
And even bucket list things too, but aspirations and dreams and goals. Like, I used to have so many more aspirations that were self-centered and dreams. Not necessarily wanting to be famous, but wanting to do my art and to do my thing, and I had to do it big. I had to do it grand. Everything had to be a certain quality, and it's just those things don't really matter anymore. Yeah, like at all. And that was all programming. So it's like letting go of that.
Yeah, like one of my bucket list things that I fulfilled was to ride in an actual NASCAR race car. I done that at Darlington, and that was like super cool. But that just, if I only had 5 things I could do, something like that would not be one of them anymore.
No.
No, would not be part of it anymore. Cause and I'm like you, Shannon. I think the number one goal every day now is to wake somebody else up. I'm just absolutely perturbed. I don't know if you guys can see the comments on the screen, but we can't see them here, and it's about driving me bananas. I don't know what's going on with the studio tonight. Everything seems to be lagging.
Little gremlins.
Hey, Diana, let's take a second. We got let's see, we got Mike, We got Big E. Big E was in the door first, as always. Go ahead there. Who else we got in there? Miss K. I seen her in there.
Mike Smith.
I know Sniper Mike. He's
Yeah.
always in the room.
Truth Code of Diana.
Yeah, Diana, I still ain't seen no pictures of that fantastic automobile you said you had that we was gonna use for
Mm.
you know, for a thing. We have a birthday shout out today.
Oh
Bam.
yeah, happy birthday, Kev.
Yeah, happy birthday. Was there any special message we were supposed to have with that? Cause
Hold up.
where's that text?
Uh,
Oh, where is that text?
He's 56.
That was like 74 texts to go, guys. Yeah, to Kevin Hoyt, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Kev.
Okie doke. Happy birthday from your cold weathered friend. That was a
Mhm.
special request tonight. That's the only request we got. We're starting to sound like radio DJ Shannon.
Well, hello and welcome to the show, then, guys.
For your top 40 countdown tonight. Compassionate virtuosity. Well, hello and welcome. Don't think we've seen you in here before. Um, we're kind of done with the pluribus part of the show, and now we move on to real subjects. Trying to get around it with a little bit of camouflage, guys. A couple of things. What rabbit hole you been down, Shannon?
So many. I so first of all, went to a Super Bowl party. I have not been to a Super Bowl party probably since I was a teenager, but some friends of mine had decided that's what they were going to use an excuse for to hang out because honestly, most of us didn't even look at the screen. They were all looking at cars and whatever. I'm sitting there studying things about King Solomon and other random things. And so, but I went because I wanted to see if there was anything interesting with the decode thing in the Super Bowl or the Superb Owl. And there was a lot of imagery, but I really just kind of noticed that the whole thing as a whole was just an incredibly different, disappointing kind of a situation. Like everybody's there for the stupid commercials and all that stuff. There wasn't one commercial that was fascinating in any way, shape, or form to even, I mean, there were a couple that I could decode, but like nothing. There was nothing. It was the most boring experience ever. And I left before the game ended because I just was like, whatever. And I shouted out a prediction and I was like, you know what? These things are always code. We know this, right? All my friends think I'm a weirdo, anyways. They're used to me, but I'm a weirdo and I don't really fit in very well anywhere anymore. But I was like, all right, so the Patriots, America, they're going down by a landslide. So guess what? America, guys, we're gonna be losing this year. It's gonna be an interesting year because that's
Oh
how.
no, we're gonna think positive, Shannon. We're not gonna
Yeah.
put that
No, I
out.
know this is their code. This is their code. I'm not saying I fall for this nonsense, but that's what they're trying to portray out to each other. It's the Hegelian dialect nonsense. But that's what they were encoding. But my friends were like, whatever, there's still hope. Yeah, no. I was like,
Yeah, no.
no. It was just, it was an interesting reminder of how much I have just changed in the last even last couple years, but several years now, and it's just really hard to be in a social situation anymore. I don't feel normal.
Yeah, you kind of feel like a square peg trying to go into a round hole sometimes. It's not. Not what it used to be.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I've never.
I love you guys. If any of you are watching, I had fun. I'm just, I'm a weirdo. I'm different. It's okay. It's okay. Everyone
Yeah,
needs a
big.
weirdo. It's cool.
Well, Big E, I'm not into sports either. My ex spouse was a sports fanatic. I don't care
Yeah.
what it was, basketball, baseball, golf. It's all he watched. And if he weren't watching a ball game, he was watching ESPN's. If I never see another ball game, it'll be too soon.
I hear you. But I
Mm.
mean, again, I hadn't been to one of those since I was a teenager. I was like, only because I could use this for research.
And see, I used to love going to a NASCAR race, like in person, going to a really good race. But that's become such a slot car show because all the cars are bought off the same place. And there's, I don't know, it's all started looking a lot like a video game. We went to Darlington a year before last, I think it was, and watched the race. And usually Darlington's kind of a, rough and tumble, bang 'em up. No. Like once, if they had a caution and they all started taking off like 2, 3 laps in, the racing part of it's over, and then it's just like watching cars go round and around and around and around. We got up and left halfway through, and it's not what it used to be. That I don't know. It's just things like that don't interest me anymore. I'd rather be sitting here reading or researching or
Right. Well, too, it took me a while to actually watch the opening ceremonies. I knew I wanted to see what the decode was, but I don't know, it's just something in my spirit told me to wait. And it's like this, you guys, I cannot explain to you how much mind blowing, insane information that Roxy and I have just been having in the last 4 or 5 weeks, and with other friends. Shout out to Clayton and Rye and all, a few others. But this has just been so much to take in and process. And one of the biggest rabbit holes I've been going down, which we've talked about before, is King Solomon, and trying to understand what part all of that has to play in with the stuff that's going on now, because nothing new is under the sun, and it obviously has a lot to play into it. And it's just insane how much I see all of this playing out so intensely, all the things we've been learning. And eventually here I'll be able to sit down and explain it all in a much better way. But for now, I just, there's this one quest that I am obsessing over. And because there's just been so much of, I can see all this darkness and all this, just what the enemy's plan is, I've been like, all right, God. Me and God have been having some one-on-one time, guys. You know how you just gotta do that? Where you just gotta be like, all right,
take a minute.
I need your glory right now. I have been seeing so much of their darkness. Like, please, just, I want the spiritual eyes to see your glory. And I am obsessed with trying to understand the seal of God on your forehead. The ones, those of us who are protected by God in these times, that blocks all of these frequencies, that blocks all of this nanotech and all of it. He has said he has a seal of his own, and that it's a spiritual thing. I know this, I get it, but I am just, anybody has any kind of thoughts or information or prayers on that, that would be great. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this, or if you have information, because this is a puzzle we all need to get together on. Because how great would it be to be like, all right, I can see you're safe, and then I can also see those who we need to reach out to more. I know it's a lot to ask for God, but hey, he's a God of miracles. You never know.
Absolutely, never hurts to ask.
He's already been allowing us to see all this other insane stuff. Why not?
Why
God's
not?
glory. Come on.
Well, There was a video this morning that Clayton shared with the group, and I watched it, and I think I shared it on my uh, board, my community board today. But if you haven't seen it on there, I want everybody to see this video, and I'm not gonna play it because it'll just give us a blooming community violation. We're gonna let it play through the commercial. But this is the name of it: Resonant Beings of Frequency documentary film. It's 13 years old, but go listen to it. This is 13 years old, and everything in it's spot on, and it's everything from radio frequencies and what's being aimed at you and sent to you to how it's affecting the bees, which is affecting the food supply. To there's a lot in it, guys, and it's yeah, it's one of those things that you'll wow, and it talks about the Schumann resonance and a lot of things. Just be prepared to. You might want to take notes if you're a note taker, because there's going to be 5 side rabbit holes that you're going to end up down. And instead of going rabbit hole hunting today after I watched this morning, I sat back and I started thinking about something, because we all know that I'm like extremely curious about this RH negative blood. There's something to it. There is something big to it, and I just can't wrap my brain around it for some reason. And I got to thinking about, for some reason, the Iraq battery went through my brain. Do you remember that, Shannon, what that was?
Yep, it's a clay encased. It's like, was it copper?
Baghdad battery,
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Baghdad battery. Was it copper that was the center? But it was usually filled with some kind of acidic fluid, like a vinegar or a wine or something acidic
Mm-hmm.
to help, citric juice, something along those lines to help conduct like electricity, like power.
Okay, well,
They said they used it for
we
electroplating, but whatever.
well, we know that power is derived electricity from a positive and a negative, right?
Yes.
Well, what happens in between those two is like a magnetic pulse that creates the energy.
Right.
So if you think of the earth with the Schumann resonance of 7.83 hertz is the normal on the Schumann, you have a normal magnetic frequency. So then if you think about this in terms, my brain kind of went to the fact of, all right, you got some people which are negatives, O negative, A negative, B negative, AB negative. You got some that are of the same blood type that are positive. You put a positive and a negative together with a magnetic frequency, and you have a full battery.
Yep.
I don't know. My brain was just going through that. And I know they used to claim that back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, they were doing blood tests to get marriage license. And they claimed it was about the RH negative and the pregnancy thing or whatever. But,
Mhm.
and that they were testing for STDs or something. And I guess syphilis or gonorrhea was running rampant because everybody couldn't keep the clothes on. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
And I actually have a great grandmother that died of syphilis because my great grandfather gave it to her. He was a hoe. And we talking about like that would have been early 1900s. And they was just out there doing their thing with everybody. Everybody at the club getting tipsy. Everybody. Anode, cathode, centrifuge, and centripetal forces. Yes. See, and part of that links back to that TR uh aeroplane thing with the two things and it's spinning. You put mercury in the middle, you got a positive
Mhm.
and a negative, and you defy gravity. You're defying magnetism. Gravity is a concept that is nothing more than a BS for magnetism, because the Earth is a magnet. It's a pulsating magnet. That's the human resonance. It's the heartbeat. Everything, Biggie. Everything. Yeah.
Yes, everything. You know, Daniel with Logic Before Authority in the Supernatural show. He likes to talk a lot about how we are a torus field, and
Mm-hmm.
that in itself, that design, the way it flows, is a magnetic. It's a magnetic thing. So a lot of
Let's
these,
see.
this is all frequency related.
Let me see if I can. Uh, why is this thing dragging something horrible tonight? I'm like trying to find. Like, I've done this 3 times and it ain't working over here. This guy on X, I've seen some of his stuff, Canary in the Coal Mine. He's told me specifically any of my stuff you want to use to share on. That's what he makes it for. But he has some very interesting videos on X, and a lot of it has to do with the Taurus, the awakening, quantum
Quantum
physics.
physics.
See, get an echo. What in the world? I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Go away, you little demonic gremlins. Not
Amen.
doing this today.
I did not hear an echo, luckily, but
It's on my side. I don't know. It was giving me feedback. This might be the one. Anyway, that's his name right there. Canary in the coal mine. But he's got some really good stuff on quantum physics and the torus, and like how it's some of it's like, and part of it's about Max Spires. I mean, there's all kind of stuff on there. That is
that is
throwing me
throwing me.
off. I got an echo, y'all.
Hmm,
That's weird.
that's weird.
Hmm.
I was just gonna ask. So, what other rabbit holes? And here it is. You have pulled it up.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It was
Well,
telepathy.
it
Just use.
was.
Yes.
Well, we all know these files have been dumped on the internet. We all know the majority of what these files are about. But you also have to think about the fact that this man sat in the middle of this network. He was not the top, he was not the bottom, he was nothing more than a high paid mule, in my opinion, and a organizer to keep all this running. But he was talking, and we're talking about Jeffrey Epstein. He was talking to some of the greatest minds there are at MIT and Harvard and in medical professions. So I decided that I would go to the DOJ library and search by keywords. Like, I'm searching by keywords like diseases like cancer, Alzheimer's, and then chemicals, melatonin, you know, all of this stuff that we think is sprayed in the sky. I'm just looking for trigger words to set stuff off. I did find out some very interesting information about Alzheimer's. And hang on, I'll have to go back about, I don't know how many pages in notes, but anyway, let's see. Yeah, he had an email in there that was very interesting, and it was talking about this green tea powder called HBF. I wonder if I can find it. Okay, by the way, I'll show you where we're at. There is a guy out there who has completely reconstructed the email account, and it's all of the emails that's in that file dump. And they're organized by, was it sent by JE, or was it received? Was it starred? What topics they are, and who they're from and to. That is of no interest to me, because I'm looking for, which now, once I figure out who some of these scientific people are, I can go back and look them up right here and just read their emails. Because see right here, there's old Billy Boy right there. And if you click on Billy Boy, then you get all the emails between the two of them. and the back and forth and the date. You can look them up. But when you go to inbox, it tells you up here at the top, volume 9 has been dropped. If you want to look at the new drop included, you hit browse. Now, you can go over here and hit attachments, and you can sort it by images or documents. And if you look through some of these images, a lot of them are just pictures of boats and houses and planes and funky buildings. However, there are some there's nothing in here that I've seen that is of any nature with the children or anything. This is more professional, personal, like trip planning. But there's some images in here. See, we just want images. I don't want all them PDFs in there. Of some creatures that appear to be taxidermied. And I don't know if these creatures were that kind of creature before or after the taxidermy, is the question. Because these are not creatures I've ever seen before in real life. There's a lot of stuff in here about cloning and stem cells and brain stuff. All right, there's one of them. I zoom in on it. You really can't see it very well. It won't let me zoom in. But it looks like this down here looks like a multi-headed chicken vulture thing. I don't know what that is, but whatever it was, something was horribly wrong with it. It's not attractive in the least.
That sure is not pretty.
It ain't purty. Not nary bit. What is this? What is that?
It's a griffin. That's totally a griffin. It's totally a griffin.
But see, that looks like the rear end of a cat and the front end of a chicken. That's a chicken cat.
So they like chimeraed one and taxidermied it, or decided.
That's my question. Was it this creature before or after the taxidermy process?
Right?
That's the scary part. Like, did y'all get that made before or did y'all cut that up and make it after? Either way, it's a little twisted. But yeah, there's a
what is
there's definitely some strange creatures.
Oh, you skipped over the one with the mermaid tail.
Oh, where was it at?
It a little further. Oh, there. Oh, go back. Almost. Right there.
Oh no, that's a whole different one.
Oh, that's a whole different thing. What?
That is a cat with horns and wings. It has 2 heads.
2 heads.
Oh my god, it's got 2 heads.
Dude, these are like representing weird demon things.
Okay, hang on a minute. We're going to have to screenshot this. And then we're going to have to be looking at this like up close and personal. Hang on. We're going to have to zoom in on this bad boy. Oh, that's messed up. Oh, that is like a possum cat with 2 heads, with horns, with wings.
Oh my lord.
What in the... Oh my goodness. It's got like talons.
That is like it's sewn together though, you know what I mean? It doesn't it's like seamless. I don't know about that.
Yeah, they I'm telling y'all, they
some chimeras are real. These things are real. They're not as pretty as they made them out to look in the fairy tales though.
No.
Like, we find say, how do you know what a unicorn looks like?
Right? Now, if you'll go back and look, come on now, Compassionate said that looked like her ex.
Oh, Lisa.
Mm.
I'm sorry.
Let's see. See if we can find any other odd creatures. There's like, and like I said, I've just kind of done a quick run through of looking at these because I just saw the thing of how you can access them like this. But I've still been going through the DOJ files and I searched by keyword. That's where I found out that Alzheimer treatment is called H as in Harry, B as in boy, F as in Frank, brain food. I've not looked into it yet, but I've got notes. There's so much of this stuff I've actually had to set up my own file category of things to go back and look at
It
because
makes
there's
you
just so much of it.
wonder, like, have you seen that movie? Was it Luminous or something like that with
That's a
Bradley
two-headed chicken.
Cooper? Ooh, that's
It's a
terrifying.
two-headed
But
chicken.
that movie is all about him getting access to this like experimental drug that
Mhm.
like it brings everything into focus, and he became like a super genius being able to do like all this stuff kind of thing. That's kind of what that reminds me of for some reason. I mean, it may not be, but it could be related.
Well, I saw a lot of stuff in the when I'm looking through the file library. The Alzheimer thing, it comes up and tells you that it's based on the homocysteine acid. I don't think that's how you pronounce it, but that's something might sound a little like it. Um, the measure of that in your urine, whether it was high or low, when it started declining in the urine, the Alzheimer's was getting worse. But they could take this green tea and they gave it to whatever the test group was 100, 200 Alzheimer's patients, and they were mild, moderate, and severe. And they
Hmm.
gave it to every one of them for a month. At the end of that month, every patient, regardless of severity, the symptoms were reversing of Alzheimer and cognitive function was coming back.
See, this just tells me this is more confirmation, Roxy, that I need to switch from my Red Bulls to green tea. This is like
Well, I don't know what kind of green tea this is, and it's on the list. It's one of those things, you gotta
I'd
go back and
imagine like matcha, because like in the Japanese culture, they just look beautiful and they don't have as many cognitive problems and
now. I
have a whole
also
different
saw
life.
an email in there that was weird,
Hmm.
and there was this like one person, and I want to think it was a doctor that had sent him the thing and said that they had figured out how to make new teeth out of urine.
Oh, just what?
Okay, well, have you ever heard of the Philosopher's Stone? I'm sure you have.
Yes.
In
Oh, of
alchemy,
course. Which is yeah.
you're
Hmm.
supposed to be able to make gold out of it. But basically, if you get a hold of a copy of one of the books, the Philosopher's Stone is basically that you put your first morning's urine in a thing over low heat and you just keep adding to it and it keeps boiling down for like a month. So you got the smell of hot burning urine for a month trying to make a hunk of
Oh,
gold.
no.
You didn't know that?
Why? What just
They're trying to make gold.
I out of okay, good for there's just some things not worth it in life. I'm just saying.
Mm-mm. I'm not peeing
You
in a
know,
cup once a day for
the
nothing. No.
dedication of trying to transform stuff into stuff may not really be a good idea if that's the basis of these things. Just saying.
Yeah, and I don't think I would want any teeth made of urine. That just
No, in your mouth,
no.
dear God, just
No.
I'd be like, no, you just I'll take wood before I do that. Okay, I'll go old school if I
Check
have to.
there's that Wizard of Oz flying monkey thing that we
Girl,
saw
that is
earlier.
so weird. Holding a martini glass.
Look at them teeth on that monster.
They're obsessed with
R-
wings.
Yeah, they're
All these creatures have wings.
mhm. They're some kind of creatures. The wolf would
A wolf?
weasel or
Is that a
mink
lamb?
or something in its mouth. I don't know. There's a lot of like weird animals in here. And this dog, I've read enough emails about that stupid dog right there and its healthcare needs. That dog has more medical checkups than I've ever had. Like it goes and gets its butt washed and its teeth cleaned like once a week.
Wow.
I don't know that dog probably lives better than most of us do. And boats, oh my gosh, the boat pictures. It's like boat after boat. But anyway, guys, if you're interested in going to look up anything like that, you can also do the DOJ because like I said, I'm not in there looking at the other stuff. I want to look at the scientific information that's in here because this dude was talking to a lot of people. So if you come over here, you can search it right here by keyword and like oh, melatonin, and you'll come up and you'll get everything that has that keyword in it. Some of these, like you'll see, this one and this one is the exact same email. So you just got to kind of peruse through it. It takes some time. But there's some more stuff in here about the Obama Brain Initiative, which was a
Wait, what?
DARPA program. The Obama Brain Initiative is running strong. Here we go. This is about nanotechnology in the brain and how that kind of stuff. This email here is talking about a seat at the table or seat at the board or something.
Can you
Warm up.
see? I can, oh, I'll just, yeah. Wow. I have chills right now. I cannot tell you how insane my chills are right now. I just can't.
Well, I looked it up, and when you go over here to it, it was something that he started in 2013. It was inspired by the Human Genome Project as a grand challenge to revolutionize the understanding of the human brain by accelerating the development and application of new technologies. And it's to map brain circuits, electrical and chemical activity, like billions of dollars have been invested in this.
It's him. It's him. Oh my gosh, it's him.
But there was quite a
Oh,
few things. What else was it? Somebody found some RH negative stuff in here, but I hadn't got that far. See, nothing for rhesus. And when you type in, you put blood in anything, like, old boy was evidently getting his blood pulled like every time, every third day, once a week, something like that. It's like constant appointments to get blood stuff done. But anyway, you can go in here and search it by keyword, by name, by whatever. But I have been focusing on the scientific part of it. And I think one of my next things is gonna start looking at some of that stuff they put up there above us and see if I can find any references to that. And I'm making folders, guys. Like right now at this moment, this is what it's looking like. Let's see. Yeah. When we go over here, I'm just having to bring it down and separate it because there's so much of it that I think is actually like this one right here was a whole study on the vagus nerve and like
it's the
what the
main.
vagus nerve can do.
That's the main nerve that I have a problem with. I have a passing out condition, and it's related to that in my heart.
Well, this is accessing the healing power of the vagus nerve.
So
Self help
let's.
exercises for anxiety, depression, trauma, and autism. And I mean, like stuff like this, you never know what we'll find in something like this that is not normal information that everyday Joe, gets the access to. This is the stuff I'm looking for in those files. And this is where my thinking comes from, guys. There is so much horrible stuff. Why is our screen gone black, Shannon?
I don't know. Oh, what?
No, that is
No.
not what we wanted. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe it's my internet, guys. But there's so much bad stuff in these emails that I thought, hey Connie, I thought maybe if nothing else, we can find some good stuff in there that is useful that can do some good. There's got to be something in those things that can do some good
Right.
somewhere.
Friday the Good. This is, yep, let's go.
That's why I've been looking at the health benefits of it because I mean there's got to be something in there. Something. We'll excuse you for being late, Miss Connie. Just what were you doing? Why were you not here with us? How is everybody's weather doing? Like, we've had crazy weather here. We had snow here the other week, and it was like the most beautiful, perfect 72 degrees day you could have had.
It's been cold and foggy, and it's gonna rain tomorrow over here. I'm telling you, we just switched places. Except I don't have snow. It's gonna be
Yeah, I don't want no more snow. We don't get snow here but every couple of years, and I don't want no more of it. Nancy Guthrie is safe but scared. Do what?
good.
I just got a notification on my phone about something. I don't know. I
What?
try not to read my phone while we on here, but it'll be ding ding dinging. Um, we are almost. Yeah, it's been 70. Where are you at, Compassionate? I'm down next to Murder Beach. I never got a notification, so I had no idea that you guys were live. I hate I miss. We still live, boo boo. We still live. You ain't missed nothing.
Mhm.
You ain't missed nothing. We having a chill night tonight, just talking about everybody's rabbit holes. Give us some of the rabbit holes that you guys are down. What are y'all looking into? Because we like sharing information. This is about crowd discovery. That's why I'm showing you guys how to go in and look through those emails. Maybe you can find some things or some health issue or science issue that's near and dear to you. Maybe you can go in there and find some. Irmo, Columbia. You're up there close to Super Dave. He's on that side. You a
And
couple
that was
hours.
the DOJ that you were looking that up in?
Yeah, if you just go to Google and search DOJ Epstein Library, you'll come up to that DOJ site. You got to confirm you're 18 and that you're not a robot.
Yeah.
See, I hadn't thought about that. I hadn't thought about that. Connie, we've been down the etymology thing lately, and so
Mhm.
we are questioning every single word we speak, why we speak it, how we speak it. Like grammar comes from grimoire, which is spell book, spellings. Like you know how it's like all, and you really start to get to the point that you don't want to talk to anybody. You just want to use sign language because I feel like I'm just sinning by speaking English.
Amen to that. Okay.
Well, Anglo-Saxon. Anglo comes from angel. Saxon come from sect. So it's like angel language, and it's English. Anglo-Saxon is like witchcraft,
Mhm.
essentially.
It is designed to be that way.
Yeah. See, I had a talk with. I was talking with Clayton the other night, and
Latin too, though.
yeah, I don't think we actually used to speak words in the beginning. I think we were all telepathic because if you go, all right, I try to associate this to telepathy tapes. If you've never seen them, the very first season, go watch them. They will change your life. And because you realize that these nonverbal autistic kids are completely and totally telepathic. They talk with their friends thousands of miles away. They know things about their friends across the country before the phone can ring and tell their parent because one of the little boys passes away. But these are real people and real studies, and she's got several seasons on it. But these children have no ego. They have no need for, they're not trying to lie or get anything out of it. It's just pure. And since they are pure, they have this ability. And when you take pureness out and you add in sin, you get spoken language. So, what if before the Adam and Eve incident in the garden, there was telepathy and the first lie was told? So, there was spoken word because you were trying to hide something. And then we got all this babble of all these different languages and sounds. And see, my brain thinks too much. I want to know why Adam and Eve had to do all this. I'm mad.
I understand. I do. I do. You know, reading the books of Adam and Eve and the books of the Apocrypha was helpful in really understanding just the whole battle of everything. And God knew these things would happen, and he has a plan. He's always had a plan, and that's and Jesus, Yeshua HaMashiach, Yahosha, our Lord and Savior, whatever name you know
Yahweh.
him by, Yah, whatever you know him by, that's that's always been his plan. He always planned to rescue us, but that's part of choice, is letting us, make that choice to love him. You can't force somebody to love you. It's a choice.
I'm about to lose my noodle over this screen now. Look, there we go. See? Now it's, I don't know why this thing is acted up. Why you acting up? But yes, we Shannon and I and some of the others have all been discussing like the etymology of words, cuz they stopped teaching that years ago for a reason. If you look at when they really started taking over the textbooks and how they started migrating subjects away from public education, you don't have home ec anymore. They don't want you to know how to be able to feed yourself and balance a checkbook.
No.
Like when I was in 8th grade, that was a required course.
Yeah.
You had to be able to do a budget and balance a checkbook. It was part of your home ec.
We didn't have the balance of the budget, but everything else was included. Cooking and sewing and life skills.
Yeah, everything has been brought upon us in such a way to confuse us and to mix things up so you didn't understand. um what is this thing doing? I'm sorry, y'all. This studio tonight is acting a crazy on me on this side. But everything was brought upon us that way on purpose. It is all for their benefit, not ours. Home economics was a useful class. Yes, girl, they taught me how to make biscuits. Like biscuits was important. See,
They
when
still.
I was when I was raised in the South as a child, like my grandma got up in the morning, which my grandma had homemade biscuits pre-made. She would make full pans and put them in the deep freezer on the pan. So all you had to do was take the whole pan out and put them in the oven, just like they do at Hardee's. I mean, my grandma was on it. We had trays of them in the freezer because my grandma ain't buying no store bought bread.
Hmm.
We not buying that stuff. She said that stuff make you sick. See,
My
I thought she was just a crazy little old lady.
my grandma was like that with lasagna and all of that. Was always ready to go.
Right. And like, well, and like my grandma, whatever she cooked the night before for dinner, there was usually a little bit of it left over for lunch the next day. And there was always biscuits left over. Like when she cooked biscuits, you was eating them biscuits for 2 days.
Oh,
Like biscuits was breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and might have been part of your dessert if you got any. And
okay.
sewing, I guarantee you, that 70% of the high school students right now, if you handed them a needle and thread and told them to put a button on, they'd look at you like you had lost your mind. Like nobody knows how to fix anything anymore because everything is disposable.
Girl, several years ago, this is several years ago, mind you, there is a very sad video that that circulated of this one teenage girl trying desperately to open a can with a regular can opener that you use with your hands.
Mm,
And there's a whole classroom full of other students the same age going, "Oh, this looks so hard. That's like impossible." Oh, like just tripping out on it. And it's just like, wow, what have we come to? And this was several years ago. Imagine
ain't it?
now.
Like most of them don't even have the etiquette to have a conversation. Like, okay, these kids, these children, these teenagers, they don't text and be like, "Hey, I want to go over to my friend's house on Saturday. Can you take me, and drop me off?" Or, "Can we go to such and such and get something to eat or go to town or Dollar General, whatever." That is not how they approach subjects anymore. When they text you, they say, "Hey, ain't you want to take me to Dollar General?" Excuse me? You need to take yourself, Pat and Charlie, take yourself, walk, go get you a job. Because not only did they, ain't you trying to take me to Dollar General? I ain't like them little gremlins got no money to buy their own stuff because these parents is not making them work. That child of mine come up day. She's like, she was fussing at the grandbabies about cleaning the room. She was like, when I was 15 years old, I had a job. I said, and you blowed every dime of it. I said, I paid for your car and your gas and your insurance and your clothes and your cell phone, and you blowed your whole paycheck. But I was out working for it. I said, yeah, you should have been at home helping keep the house clean.
Right.
Because she was fussing at them about, I'm supposed to get paid for keeping your room clean, and that's your responsibility. And I agree it is. But wait a minute there, Sally Mae, because you was being hypocritical. You was spoiled. Pushing four-course meals out at 13. Psst. I'm lucky if I get 2 pieces of bread and a sandwich anymore. I don't know. I've got where I can't bring myself to eat the fast food. Don't want to buy the food from the grocery store. I'm living off peanut butter and jelly and potatoes.
Well, at least I know it's going to be really easy to feed you when you get here.
Girl, I told you, a
So easy.
tater with some cheese. Taters and cheese. I'm good. Taters, cheese. I can eat anywhere they got chicken fingers and
I
french fries.
I offered you guys to make her my homemade grandmother's Italian lasagna recipe, and she's like, "No."
No,
I'm like, "No, how could this be?"
no. Thank you, but no. She's like, I'll make you desserts. Like,
It's
no.
heaven. It's pure heaven.
I will bring my food with me in a little carry-on bag.
No, I got you. I got you. I'm
Y'all might not have my light bread out there.
Us Italians are just sensitive about our food. It's a thing.
I used to, before I had cancer, I used to eat all kind of stuff. Like I loved spicy food, some of it, and like a little bit of black pepper, some flavor. No, like I'm no. I can't eat much more than salt anymore because it sets my tongue on fire. I had some kind of reaction during chemotherapy, and it messed my tongue up. And black pepper, you'd think I was eating death sauce.
See, there's more proof that it's just pure poison.
It
Pure
is.
poison.
It is. Oh, and be aware that I saw today, um, that multiple countries have come out with, get this, a vaccine to cure cancer.
Oh yeah.
A vaccine. So if you didn't get that last one, we got a cure for cancer. Come on, we'll give you this one.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want nothing y'all got. Not nothing. I don't even trust the water we drinking. which I ain't drinking it. But anyway.
See, our friend from the north is in on the lasagna.
Oh Lord, he's over there. I got it on silent because normally I see you over there, lasagna man. I see you. Well, you just gonna have to meet us in California if you want lasagna, sweetheart. Because I'll be there. And anybody who would like to contribute to our great adventure,
Yeah.
here's our little code. You can buy us a coffee. There's mine, and there's Shannon's. Because it's probably going to cost me upwards of about $1,000 to get to California and spend a week. So that's what we're working on. What's
And
this
I
called?
am contributing to this, just so you know.
I'm not concerned about that.
Don't care.
Um,
Just letting you know.
Biggie, yeah, Biggie, yeah, the like amount of people that have died of cancer, especially since it's like caught on fire and accelerated since um, the pandemic happened, and I believe it's parasites that all of these RF Wi-Fi signals are intensifying.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of that nanotechnology. I watched this odd movie the other night on YouTube. Oh, what was the name of it? I'll have to go back and find it, Shannon. It was I didn't even know any of the actors in it, but it was a decent movie. But the title of it was once you watch this movie, you'll question everything about reality. But in this movie, this girl's brother and her had been scuba diving and he hit his head and he ended up in a coma. But her dad had patented some kind of substance that you could program a memory into. And it was for rich people. And let's say that you wanted to have a memory that when you thought about it, it seemed real, kind of like a bucket list experience. You know, you could go skiing or climbing Mount Everest or whatever, but it was this black goo, and you leaned back and you dropped it in your eye like an eye drop.
Oh, I've
And
seen this.
what was a full day's memory would only take like 20 seconds, and then you were, back to where you were, but you had that memory and it seemed real. I had to find that movie. It was wild. And so then you started questioning what was real and what wasn't in the movie. But yeah, it was crazy.
I've seen it. What's the name of this movie
I don't know. I watched it the other night. I'm pretty sure it was on YouTube.
again? See, you need to watch Black Mirror, girl. You really, it took me years and years and years, and God finally was like, "You need to do this," and it blew my mind because most of my testimony is like in this thing, and it's insane.
I'll have to go back to the TV and find my history
Mhm.
and look up what that movie was. Well, guys, when we finish and I know we haven't been touching a lot on the Pluribus episodes, we kind of using them as camouflage, but we do have another series that we're going to start on, and we're going to do a lot of talking about it because I don't know if any of y'all out there watched the series with the Winchester brothers, Supernatural. Have you watched it since you've been awake? Is the question.
See, my homework is the Supernatural show, and or would I always say that. I mean, the show that is called Supernatural,
Well,
and
if
yours
it
is Black Mirror. We'll try that.
absolutely Black Mirror. See, I've watched Supernatural front to back, and excuse me, there's not 13 seasons, Shannon. There's 15.
Oh, okay, it's a long one.
It's a long
Minute
one.
to win it. Black Mirror is pretty long too, but not as long.
Well, in the Supernatural series, you got two brothers which are hunting monsters, which is a family tradition of hunting down werewolves and vampires and jinns and wendigos and ghosts and all kinds of stuff. And it goes through these adventures of where they're fighting these creatures, but there's a bigger story that goes on in it. And there's a character in there named Crowley, who is the king of hell. There's an angel. There's several angels. And the more you look at this story, and then you yeah, there's a lot of things in it. And at the very end, the main monster is a Leviathan who has taken control of the food industry so that they can put poison in the food and make the people fat and slow so that they're easier to catch and drain because they need to drink their blood. And then they take the leftover parts and recycle them and put them back in the food at the fast food restaurants. Does that sound familiar to anybody else?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a movie about Goyim, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Connie, I'm not big on watching TV anymore. It's kind of selective. Um, but when I've watched things now versus watching things
So,
8, 10 years ago, it's totally different. You see it with a different set of eyes.
yeah, Death Becomes Her is a very interesting one. There's a whole thing about celebrities faking their demise and
Hmm.
all of that. It's an interesting and kind of fun movie.
And just for everybody out there who don't know it, Michael Jackson was not in the club. He was trying to say them cheering. He was trying to say them cheering. Even Bieber says it. All of them have come out and said it.
Every
Uh,
single one of them.
Yep, every single one of them come out and said that Neverland was never anything of that nature. He was the one that was trying to take these children in and save them and help manage their career before they got thrown into the wolf's den. So, whoever they tried to make out as the PDF was not the PDF. They were the ones against them.
I've heard some interesting stories from throughout the years that, you know, of course, we're going to find these things in these files that we're going through, right, with the Epstein dude. But they're, they have clones, masks, all kinds of things, body doubles, all whatever. There, there are witness accounts of seeing that it's supposed to be Michael, but it's obviously not. It's some kind of non-human thing, and I believe that these kinds of things exist for setups too, for those who are trying to get out or trying to protect things, because there are those in this industry that are not sold out like that. You know what I mean? Or they were given over as children, and it's just a whole different kind of thing. So, keep that in mind. There's levels.
Yeah, and yeah, one of the things I run across in these files was where they were in there talking about telomere caps on your DNA.
Hmm.
Our DNA seems to be capped off, which is our longevity. There's a cap on it as to like our lifespan. And yeah, they were putting additives in food. Um sorry. Yeah. Mike, that's right. Mike's wife watched the Supernatural
Hmm.
series. But yeah, in these Epstein emails there was a thing in there about telomere caps and how the scientists talking about how they figured out how to lengthen them, but that it would still, how was it was put? It wouldn't give you immortality, or there was no danger of giving immortality. And there's a lot of things about old Jeffrey Boy and what's his name? $100 bill, Andrew Jackson. They look a lot alike. A lot alike.
Oh my goodness. I
Mhm.
didn't even think about that until right now. Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's, a lot
oh,
of those
Andrew
guys out
Jackson and Epstein look a lot alike.
there. Hmm.
Yeah, it was a TV series, Connie. It's a really good series, and it was something that like my kids watched with us. And this show is so big that it has its own Wikipedia page, which I shared to Shannon the other day, because you can go back and reference everything in the show, but it has its wiki fandom, and you can go back and look up just about anything on the show. You can go back creatures by season, galleries, the world, the country, places, relationships. Yeah, there's creatures, demons, vampires, hellhounds, cherub, horsemen, wendigo, and alphas. Like there's all kind of stuff in here, and there's a guy in here that's writing a book, and you start noticing that things he's writing in his book come true, and his name's Chuck, and then kind of find out in the show Chuck is God, and I might have just blowed that for you, Shannon, but just saying. But it's a good.
I did.
Sorry, I didn't mean to blow that up for you because when that part comes up in the show, I'm like, really? But there's and one of the brothers on here, they're trying to the devil is trying to inhabit his body to become the antichrist, and they're trying to prevent that outcome in the future, along with trying to kill all the monsters and save the world. And they have a strong, their relationship with God goes back and forth. They've been put in this situation, but it's a good show. And there's a beautiful car in it too. Just say it. It's a good looking car.
You've mentioned there's a lot of eye candy in this, so it's good to
Yeah.
know.
I'm all about some Dean Winchester. That's my kind of dude. One big walking red flag.
Oh dear goodness.
See, I guess in life I saw those red flags and I'm like, whoo, this looks like a fun ride. I'm too old for fun
Uh,
rides anymore. I just get nauseous.
it's all the programming, Roxy. It's all the programming. You're deprogramming now. It's good. It's good.
I I tend to be a fixer. I've had to work on fixing my fixer personality. I want to solve everybody's problems. I want to make everybody's day better. And a lot of times when I'm trying to solve everybody else's problems, I forget about mine. And I don't solve those.
I understand. I am just like that.
I want to love everybody, but you can't love everybody because some people just. Anyway, we're going to get off that subject before we get down another rabbit hole. What you got coming up Thursday night, Shannon?
Thursday night, we're going to have a special guest, my friend Ryan. He is a really awesome sweetheart. He's like a big brother to me. I mean, literally, we both love hats and are nerds and just big goofballs. But he he has a lot of really awesome opinions. He's a real great middle ground kind of guy to talk to. Has that perspective of people who don't really necessarily know what way to swing, but likes to look at everything and analyze. And he's seeing a lot of truths come out, and I just think it'll be a great conversation to have with him on air. So be kind to him, and he's just a big old goofball like me, so it'll be fun. There will be lots of giggles, I'm sure, still.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to meet him. I think tomorrow should be Daniel's solo show. I haven't seen Super Dave in here, and I haven't seen Super Dave go live. Mike, have you talked to Super Dave? Everything all good? Haven't seen much from him. I've
Mm.
been kind of nosy, and yes, it is a '67 Impala. Black. Go ahead, Mike. You know I like cars. That is like, see, when I see a '67 Impala or a '69 Chevelle or a '72 C10 pickup truck, Chevrolet, I'm all about GM products. It just makes my heart pitter patter. And especially when it's coming by, the cam's loping on it, and it's just that when it's coming by. Lord,
Mm.
that just makes my blood warm. It makes me feel so good to hear hot rod come by. Good old American muscle. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can't do these electric cars. They literally weird me out. I hear it
Yeah,
and I'm
no,
just
girl.
like, ugh,
Uh-uh.
one of them. I can't.
No.
I just, it sounds like some kind of demonic electronic choir.
See,
And then,
now I spent my whole life in the car business, other than a few years in just straight up corporate accounting, doing auditing. But I have driven everything from Porsches to Lamborghinis to, I mean, you name it. I've drove it because the majority of my life, I always had a work car. I've driven Buick LeSabres and, grandma car, hot rods, sports cars. And uh, you can keep them electric cars all day, every day. I don't care if it's brand new. About time you showed up, Wayne DePayne. Come dragging in here when the show's about over,
yeah,
buddy.
oh,
Buddy. Missed you all night, and here you come dragging in when we about to close the doors up. Now you got to go back and start all over again. Anyway, we love you though. We love you, love you, love you. Um, yeah, like them electric cars. No, thank you. I'll pass.
they
Don't
creep,
if I call for a Uber, don't even come pick me up in an electric car because I'm just gonna be offended.
they creep me out.
That no. Mm-mm.
Mm.
See, I think I've seen some of these places in bigger cities like where they have Uber, but like you can get the General Lee to come pick you up, or
What?
yeah, they're themed Ubers. Like some cities have themed Ubers. Girl, I would go somewhere just to go if I thought the General Lee was gonna pick me up.
That is great. That's actually kind of fun.
Just
I
take
would
just
go
take me on to meet Jesus if Bo Duke was driving. I mean, I'm done. I'm
see,
done.
like,
Bucket list fulfilled.
back in the 80s and 90s here in the San Bernardino area, like, we had this really cool restaurant called Bobby McGee's, and every single one of the waiters and waitresses had to be in costume. I mean, we're talking full on, like, they did not hold back on the budget on these costumes, and they were all just always in character. It was so much fun. I loved that restaurant. That was like my favorite restaurant, and then they closed it down. And I'll ask people nowadays, like, does anybody remember Bobby McGee's? And they're like, what's that? I'm like, oh, you guys don't even know how much fun it was back then. There was just so many more fun places. You don't see any of that much anymore unless you go all the way to LA and paid so much money, or Las Vegas or whatever.
Yeah, like I see the first car my dad ever gave me, which I ended up being a horrible teenager and he sold it. But anyway, it was a 1956 Bel Air hardtop two tone, white and turquoise. And my daddy painted it like a navy blue with a metallic flake in it. And that would have been my car when I got old enough to get it, but evidently, I couldn't behave very well, so he sold it. My
Oh,
brother got a 69 El Camino, which he ended up with, but it was about too far gone by the time my dad passed. We'd started restoring it, but like I grew up with this insane love of automobiles, and to hear a hot rod come by, that's why I ended up, in the whole drag racing thing was,
man,
need for speed.
you're still, my first car was Mazda 62682. So you're good. That car was all right.
See,
But
now I had a Mitsubishi Eclipse one time with a turbo on it. I was in my, early mid 20s. If that thing hadn't have got blowed up, I would have lost my license in that thing.
man, see, my dad freaking got it for $500 off of one of his other, you know, broccoli friendly person. And I opened up my center console and was like, hey, it came with a gift.
Okay, with a gift bag.
It came with a gift.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, it was total dad move on my dad, not typical dad, but my dad.
65 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. It was a boat. That was a tank and a boat. That was like a land yacht,
See, I
Wayne.
would have loved to sport that around. Let's go.
Girl, like the Boss Hog Mobile. See, I'm a Dukes of Hazzard fan. and like Boss Hogg's car and the General Lee and Daisy's Jeep and Uncle Jesse's truck. Like if I could ever hit the lottery, which we now know is fake, I would have bought all of the Dukes of Hazard cars. Because
Oh,
let
no.
me tell you, back in my 20s, I looked just as good as Daisy Duke did.
Oh, I do not doubt that at all
Yeah.
whatsoever.
See, I love me some Dukes of Hazzard. They was just a good old Southern family trying to do the best they could, and they might have had to sell a little shine to make an extra dollar, but they did what they had to do, and they did it, and they prayed about dinner every time before they eat. They said blessing, and they held hands, and they loved one another, and they helped their neighbors. See, that's
Mm.
why I like Dukes of Hazzard, and they drove fast and jumped the earth.
You go.
And Smokey and the Bandit. See, now I actually had a Smokey and the Bandit car, but I had the Camaro, not the Trans Am. But yeah, that was one of my favorite cars. I don't know how we got down the car train, guys. I'm sorry. I'm dreaming about cars tonight.
That's okay. That is
Yeah.
okay.
First car I ever bought for myself was a '81 Z28 Camaro. Had no back seat. It was all speakers, deafening. Probably caused some hearing damage to this day.
That's the kind of loud I pretty much have grown up with all my life. So you
Well,
go.
the guy I bought it from, in a Camaro, you don't have much of a back seat anyway. But the back cushion had been removed, and it was a sheet of plywood, and it had four 10-inch subwoofers and 2 amps in the trunk of this '81 Camaro. So, like, you had to roll the windows down when you cranked that bad boy up, because if not, you was breaking glass. Like, you needed some wind, percussion relief from these speakers. Not quite sure why I needed that as a 16-year-old girl with a built engine in it. It lasted 7 months. My daddy took it from me because he caught me street racing.
Mm,
Then
mm.
he gave me a Ford Escort station wagon.
Mm,
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna let you go. We've been at this about an hour and a half tonight. Hello, James. Nice of you to join us tonight.
mm.
He's been listening the whole time with Diana. I know he has. But Daniel will be on tomorrow on Logic Before Authority. You can check our other channels, or some of our friends out. Super Dave 44, The Supernatural Show, Logic Before Authority, Energy Arts. What is the
Oh, I don't know.
my brain just went blank. Uh Biggie, you want to meet me at Maple Motors? I'll meet you there. See, that'll be a whole nother vacation. I'll meet you there. I actually have their TikTok, their YouTube, everything. Everything.
Uh,
Future lunch date, buddy. I'll meet you at Maple Motors. I've been dying to go there too. A VW. We did the same quarter-mile races on a straightaway country road. Yeah, we used to do ours by the baseball field over here, but the popos got pretty tight on that, and it's dangerous. You shouldn't be street racing. I ended up drag racing on the drag strips, but yeah, I lost a family member street racing on the highway. It's not good. It was fun when I was young and dumb, but it's not smart. But yeah, I'm serious, Biggie. You let me know, and we'll meet up at Maple Motors for lunch one day. I just want to go like drool on their inventory. Probably lock me up for slobbering on all of their vintage cars. If you haven't looked up Maple Motors, everybody, if you want to talk about like dream cars of '70s and '80s and '90s, they're on there. They got them all. And they're in good shape.
nice.
All right, guys. Well, we will be back Thursday night. You never know about me or Shannon. Might be a random live during the day when we're doing investigations, but if not, we'll be back Thursday night. It will be 9:30 on the East Coast and 6:30 on the West Coast. And somewhere in the middle, it'll be in the middle.
Yep. That's a really good way to put it.
In the middle, in the middle. You got a 3 hour wherever you at, somewhere in there. You'll find your time zone.
Oh,
Stay
goodness.
positive. Love your neighbor. Share a smile. And don't let this world get you down. There's plenty of us out here. We don't have to, we're not doing this alone. You got a community right here with a family. We're all in this together. So hopefully tomorrow you have the spirit and the strength to wake one more person up.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to say, Shannon?
I mean, you pretty much just said it right at the end there for me. I was gonna say. So again, it's that telepathy thing. Super
Yeah.
good.
Just means you're on the same page.
Mhm.
And we may not be far from Roxy actually turning on the camera because I'm finding the motivation to get this podcast studio finished and hopefully
Yeah,
get a better camera.
I get to see your pretty
You
face.
see me all the time, huzzy. You know we spend 3 hours on FaceTime a day.
So I get to see it again. It's fine.
This is how we have telepathy because the only hours we're not in contact, we're asleep. And we're probably doing it in our sleep and just don't even realize it.
Probably. Hey, like I said, I dreamt we were already adventuring here, so
We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm going to start a countdown clock. I think we're at like 50 some days till Roxy goes west. And we're going to do our best, if it works out, to stop at the Denver airport. I don't know. When I was looking the other day, it looked like it was going to cost me about 4 hours the route through there. So I don't know if we're going to do that or not.
I understand. What about the way home?
I don't know. I'll have to look because it was like to route through Denver. It was like it cost me an extra like 2.5 hour layover in one place,
Mm,
and I would have to like double stop. So I don't know. But anyway,
yeah.
all right, guys. If you want to donate to the Cali trip, here
Woohoo.
is the links for buy us a coffee. We make absolutely nothing off of this channel. We have no sponsors. No sponsors. Nobody pulls our strings. It's just our two loud mouths and random thoughts and a lot of laughter. And we try to bring intelligent knowledge when we do it. We're not always going to say that we're intelligent, but we do bring knowledge and love and sparkles and
And
a switchblade.
yes, and
Yeah,
microphone. I got two turntables and a microphone.
that's right. Whoop, everybody in the club getting tipsy. All right, guys, we love you. We'll see you Thursday. Until then, have a fantastic time. Love you, bye.